Every single year, millions of monarch butterflies do something pretty incredible. They take on one of the most amazing journeys in the entire natural world. And honestly, it's a mystery that's had scientists scratching their heads for decades. So today, we're going to explore not just how they pull it off, but how they actually perceive a world that's, well, completely invisible to you and me.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? How does this tiny little animal, with a brain no bigger than a pinhead, manage to navigate an entire continent? It just sounds impossible. We rely on maps, GPS, all these complicated tools. The Monarch, it has none of that. So what's its secret? What does it have that lets it pull off this incredible navigational feat, not just once, but year after year, generation after generation?
And look, we are talking about a serious journey. We're talking up to 3,000 miles. Just let that sink in for a second. That's basically like flying from New York City all the way to Los Angeles. But here's the part that really gets me, the truly mind-bending part. They're flying to a very specific spot that they have never, ever been to before.
The contrast here is it's unbelievable. On the one hand, you've got this tiny, delicate creature that weighs less than a paperclip. And on the other hand, you have this epic, continent-spanning journey, a tradition that's been going on for millions of years. It's like the ultimate David and Goliath story, but played out in nature.
Okay, so how in the world do they even start to figure this out? Well, the first big clue isn't something you can see on a map. It's actually hidden deep inside the butterfly itself. Turns out they have a built-in biological compass, and its power source is the sun. The official name for it is a time-compensated sun compass. And I know, that sounds super complicated, but just think of it as a kind of biological GPS. It's really clever. It takes two key pieces of information: the sun's position in the sky and what time of day it is according to its own internal body clock. By combining those two things, it can always figure out which way is south. So let's break that down real quick. Step 1, they just look up and see where the sun is. Step 2, they check their own internal clock. It's a lot like our own circadian rhythm, which tells them, okay, it's morning or it's noon or it's the afternoon. And then step 3, their tiny brain combines those two data points and performs this incredible calculation to make sure they're always headed south. It's all instinct, it's super precise, and it's just absolutely brilliant.
But wait a second. That brings up a pretty obvious question, right? What happens on a cloudy day? If your whole navigation system is based on seeing the sun, a few overcast days could send you completely off course. Well, as you might have guessed, nature thought of that. There's a backup system.
Yeah, believe it or not, monarchs have a backup compass. Research is pointing to the fact that they can actually sense the Earth's magnetic field. They probably do this using their antenna. So for them, the planet's magnetic pull isn't just some weird concept from a science textbook, it's a real, tangible guide. It's like an invisible highway they can follow when the sun's not out.
And it doesn't even stop there. They also have another trick up their sleeve. They follow chemical cues, specifically the scent of milkweed plants, which is their main food source. You can kind of think of it like a trail of breadcrumbs, but instead of crumbs, it's a trail of smells. These little fragrant signposts help guide them along those ancient routes, almost like they're literally smelling their way home. All right, so we've covered their cool navigation tools, but this is where the story goes from incredible to just absolutely extraordinary. See, the journey is so long that the butterfly that leaves from up north in Canada is not the same one that arrives in Mexico. The whole thing is a multi-generational relay race.
You heard that right. No single butterfly makes the complete round trip. It's a journey that's passed down through a family line, like a baton in a relay. And what that means is that the map, the route, the final destination, all of it has to be literally encoded in their DNA.
And this timeline here shows you exactly how this wild relay race works. It all starts with what scientists call the super generation. These guys live for months, and they make that entire massive flight south to Mexico for the winter. Then, in the spring, their kids, that's Generation 2, start the flight back north. They only live a few weeks, lay their eggs, and then Generation 3 takes over. After them, Generation 4 finally reaches the finish line way up north, and their children become the next super generation, ready to do it all over again, having never met the great-great-grandparents who started the trip.
So when you put all these pieces together, the sun compass, that magnetic sense, the scent trails, this incredible generational instinct, you start to realize something really profound. We're not just talking about a clever navigation system anymore. We're talking about a completely different way of experiencing reality itself.
Think about it. For you and me, a map is about roads and towns and landmarks. But for a monarch, their map is woven from senses we can't even begin to imagine.
To them, the sun isn't just a light in the sky, it's a giant compass point. The Earth's magnetic field isn't invisible, it's a tangible highway they can feel. The landscape isn't something they see, it's something they smell. And time? Time isn't measured by one life, but across an entire family legacy.
And this quote really just nails it. Their reality is not one of roads and signs, but a map of sunlight, magnetic fields, and the scent of an ancient path. They are navigating a world made of forces and feelings. Their journey isn't just a trip. It's the living, breathing result of a sensory map that is completely beyond our human experience.
And that kind of changes how you look at the whole mystery, doesn't it? The puzzle isn't just how do they do it? The real wonder is trying to imagine what it's even like to be a monarch. To experience the world not just through your eyes, but through an internal clock, through magnetic antenna, and with this deep inherited memory of a place you've never actually seen.
And that really leaves you with a final, fascinating thought. The monarch butterfly's proof that the world is so much more than what we humans can perceive. It really makes you wonder, right? What other invisible signals? What other ancient maps? What other hidden paths are being navigated all around us, right now, completely unseen? What other realities are out there, just waiting for us to discover them?
If you enjoyed exploring the animal world with us, subscribe to Bugs to Beasts. There's always more to discover.